You decided to sell your house. Now what? We're going to break that down into 6 easy steps for you today.
Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Phil. We're Phoenix area realtors with HomeSmart, and welcome to our channel.
We are all about educating and empowering buyers and sellers to help them achieve the lifestyle that they dream about through real estate.
So if you're thinking about buying or selling now or in the future, hit that subscribe button so we can be there to help you along the way.
The thought of selling your house can seem really overwhelming, but luckily for you, with the help of a real estate professional that you trust and a basic understanding of the process, you can go into the sale of your home feeling confident and prepared. And if you're watching this video, good news, you're already one step ahead.
So you've probably seen our video, the 6 steps to buying a home. Today we're going to be doing the 6 steps to selling a home. One of the first steps is going to be interviewing an agent. Finding the right agent for selling your home is going to be a super important part of the process because they're going to be the one really walking you through it and determining how well the whole thing and the experience is for you. A big thing to take in consideration for this is what they're going to do for marketing, how they present the contracts, how they're going to price the home, and as well as how well they are at negotiating with the other realtors.
You really want to maximize your profits when you're selling your house and minimize your stress, right? And a good agent is going to be able to tell you exactly how they plan to do that for you.
Yeah, and it's not always about how much you can get for your home. All that's super important. A lot of people hyper-focus on the number and not what goes into the pricing strategy to get to that number.
So step 2 is going to be prepare your life. Once you've chosen your real estate agent, go ahead and have a conversation with them about where you're planning on going after you sell your house. Are you needing to sell this house in order to buy a new one? And if that's the case, do you need to stay in this house a little bit longer after you close? And that's called a lease back. That's something that's going to need to be determined before you even list your house on the market because they need to include that in the listing. You really want to make sure that you have your whole game plan in place, have all your ducks in a row, because the process of selling your house is moving really quickly in today's market.
Yeah, with that, you're going to want to declutter your home and make it as presentable as possible. A cluttered home is not necessarily a showing-friendly home for people to come through. They want to be able to envision your home as their new space. And decluttering it will be a huge step towards being able to do that. Part of that as well is you can have you can do donations to Goodwill or one of your preferred donation sites, or you can also have a garage sale, which helps drum up a little bit of interest in your home before actually coming to market with it.
Mm-hmm. One idea that we give our sellers too is maybe plan a little vacation for the first weekend that you're allowing showings on your house. Because instead of being put out by a bunch of showings and having to find somewhere to go with your kids or your dogs or what have you, you can just plan a fun little vacation. That way you have the whole weekend opened up for open houses and showings, and then you can go have a little fun while you're at it.
Perfect. So now it's time to show your home. With showing your home, you're going to want to discuss that with your realtor and decide if there's going to be any kind of open houses that may occur first weekend that's the home is on market, and then also discuss what the best times are for people to come by.
Mm-hmm. One thing that's really important while your house is being shown is to try and keep it as clean and as decluttered as possible. Not only is it going to look better when the buyer comes through, but it can actually get you more money because a clean house is going to come across as a well cared for house, and a buyer is going to be willing to pay more money for a house that's been well cared for. Another thing is to just try and remain flexible. I know it can seem really inconvenient to have to leave your house periodically when somebody wants to come in there, but it really is important to remain flexible and remember that the more people that come through and see your house, the more potential profit that you could be making because it could drum up some sort of bidding war. Step 4 in the process is going to be collecting and accepting an offer. Your agent is going to be receiving all kinds of offers on your great house, and they're going to present them all to you and go over some of the pros and cons about each offer with you. One thing that a lot of people tend to overlook is types of financing. So go over that with your realtor and talk about some pros and cons about the different financing that people are offering.
Yeah, it's really important not to just look at the sticker value, like the asking price for the home, but talk to your realtor about the fine details because those can really affect what that sticker value comes out to be at the end of the day.
Right. There's lots of other terms that can make one offer more attractive than another offer besides just the price that they're willing to pay.
Now that you and your realtor have accepted an offer, you're going to be going into the escrow due diligence period. It's during this time that the buyer has a standard 10-day window to do things like inspection and ask the seller, that's you, for any kind of repairs that they may be looking to have done.
From contract acceptance to close, the standard escrow time period is usually around anywhere from 21 to 45 days in our market here. Like Phil said, this is when the buyer's doing their inspections. This is also when the appraisal is getting ordered and all the title work is being done. And this is the very last step before the final step, which is closing. One thing that we go over with our sellers when it comes to closing is we try to remind them to remain flexible and try really hard not to rely on any of the funds from closing for their move. It might take a little while for the wire to go through and for the bank to release those funds to you.
Yeah, and make sure once you are moving towards that closing date, the buyer is going to be doing a pre-recordation walkthrough, which means that the home at the time of their walkthrough should be in the same condition that it was when they did their inspection. Also, don't just go out and buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari with your newly found home proceeds. Maybe talk to your CPA about what kind of taxes you might owe on that. Those are our 6 steps, ending with the closing. But we have one more, and that's the bonus for you, and that's moving.
One tip that we have for you guys with moving is to talk to your real estate agent about what you guys are allowed to take and what you might not be allowed to take. And it's not always obvious, and it's important to talk to your realtor about this because every state is different. So in the state of Arizona, a TV is personal property. You take that with you. If it's mounted to the wall, the TV mount has to stay because it's a fixture. And then there might be some differences with like potted plants, stuff like that. So it's just really important to talk to your real estate agent beforehand so that you make sure that if the buyer might be expecting that to stay, that it stays.
It's also important to give yourself plenty of time before you move because some people underestimate how much time that really does take. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to remember that you have a lot of stuff packed into your house, and depending how big it is, it could be a lot more than you really expect.
Mm-hmm. We know we've moved a lot.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you're someone that's in the Phoenix area that's interested in homeownership, we would love to connect with you.
You can check out our contact information below and click the link to book a time to chat with us directly and see how we can help you guys achieve your real estate goals, whatever they may be.
Until next time.
Bye.